What's going on, guys? Rock Lee AC here. I am with the champion, Mr. Charlie Jablanowski. How's it going, Charlie?
It's called luck.
It's called luck. Okay, very good. Nice. Opening line. Well, congratulations on first place finish at the Portage in the end event. You've been playing for a while, just like Alex. We just did a deck profile before this. You've been playing ever since pretty much our team's been playing, like, what was that, set 20 and 21?
Oh, around there, and yes. Yeah.
Block format, technique kind of thing, so a lot of like set 22.
Yeah, my first deck was just wind.
Mono wind?
Yeah.
Yeah, so different than like your current decks.
Yeah.
Anyways.
At the very end of that deck, I played, I think it was Shukaku that allowed me to draw 2 cards at the end of each turn.
Okay.
It was very scummy, but it did nothing to help me.
Okay. Well, you came a long way. Okay, so you finally found your like niche deck that you like to run.
Yes, this is my favorite deck.
Favorite deck,
Yes.
your most comfortable deck, one that
Yes.
you've been playing for a while and always tweaked. The infamous Satoosa Style. I know a lot of people are like, what the hell is that deck? Because everyone's like, what is that deck? And then you're just like, oh yeah, you just play a bunch of Satoosas and Jutsus.
Yeah, that's
basically
pretty much what it is.
Awesome.
So the point of this deck is to get to turn 6, and at turn 6 play Particle Style Atomic Dismantling Jutsu, the super rare from Kage Summit.
Okay.
What it does is it has a requirement Satoosa, which is why it's Satoosa Style. But you target one ninja, doesn't have to be opposing, just any ninja. You remove that ninja from the game, and then you take the other ninjas in that targeted ninja's team, make them standby, and then you draw 2 cards.
Nice. Okay. Very powerhouse Jutsu.
Yep.
You're usually able to get it off just because you have a lot of chains and multiple stuff. So
Yes.
You thrive on late game.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Awesome.
But I do also run a decent amount of early to mid game, just so I can get to that late game.
Right, yeah, I noticed, yeah, a lot of your stuff is a good curve, like you're able to hit, like,
Yes.
It's a very consistent deck. How was your Swiss rounds? We played 4 rounds that day. How'd your Swiss rounds go?
Round 1, I played against Billy and his Byakugan BR flip control. It was a hard matchup. I wasn't expecting BR flip.
Okay.
But
Right, because you're not familiar with it. Same thing
Exactly.
with Alex. We haven't played against that deck back then.
yes.
Okay.
But I was able to get into late game, and I was able to get off my Jutsus and push for games.
Okay. Was that for both games, or?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So that was BR flip. That was one of the games.
Yes.
Any other games that kind of stood out?
Round 2, I actually can't remember what I fought. I don't remember what I played game 2, but I do know that it was decent no matter what.
You're 2-0 though, right?
Yes, I won my second match as well.
Okay.
Game 3, I fought, or round 3, I faced Zeke from my locals. He was playing his Fire Lightning.
Okay.
Unfortunately for him, he did miss drops. It was just unlucky for him that day.
Okay. Right.
And so with
Was that game 3 or did that go?
It
to
was
game
games 1 and 2. He missed drops, so I 2-0'd him.
Okay, that was right.
Yes. And then round 4, I faced Ruben with his no hand water. Again, I'm not adept at facing it.
Sure.
So I had a rough game 1.
Okay.
Game 2, I sided in to counter him, and I was able to push for victory. Game 2.
Okay.
Game 3, it was close, but we went into time, and he won that. So
Okay.
I went 3-1 in Swiss.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. And then I think you seeded, like, what was that, 5th or 6th? Can't remember.
I seeded 4th.
Okay. Awesome, nice.
Yes.
And then what happened top 8?
Top 8, first round, I faced Ed, who was playing puppets.
Okay.
We went to 3 games.
Okay.
Game 2, I think it was, he got out reinforcement puppet mode and was able to just flood the board.
Okay.
And it was a good game. He won that one. Overall, I was able to get to late game and play my Jutsus, so I won there.
Okay.
And round 2 in top, so top 4, I faced Ruben. Unfortunately for him, he forgot to side out from his last matchup, so he lost game 1. We didn't go for an automatic loss. We just let it play out as if he did have the side.
Okay.
As a main deck, but because of that, he wasn't able to draw his ninjas.
Yeah.
So we lost game 1.
Okay.
Game 2 was very, very close. I think it was 8-8 at the very end, but I
Were you
was
guys just exchanging like jutsus, or was it just like power, ninja powers, or
both.
A little bit
It was
both. Okay.
everything.
Back and forth?
Yes.
Dang.
But I was able to, again, barely push for the 2 battle rewards.
Okay.
And get out the victory there.
Okay.
And then final round against Roman was one of my hardest matches there. Second was against Ruben and the Swifts.
Okay.
We exchanged games 1 and 2. In game 3, again, very close game. I only won that game because I was able to have enough chakra for 2 particle styles
Okay.
to be able to remove his Susanoo after he played that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, the top 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I witnessed that, and that was pretty deadly. Mm-hmm. That was like a crazy.
Yes. And then after the game, we looked at his draws for what he could have gotten if he just ended the turn, and he wouldn't have drawn any jutsu or anything. So I still would have been able to remove his Susanoo.
Okay. Great matchup.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely nail biter. I know some things happen throughout the tournament. I mean, like little mistakes here or there.
Yep. I have now learned that mastery is not as many times as you want. It's
Right.
once per turn.
Correct.
And I have learned from that, and I will make sure not to do it anymore.
Right. Totally fine. I mean, players make mistakes all the time, and you weren't the only one who made mistakes throughout the day. Again, like we said, there's deck list errors and stuff. So at higher level tournaments, those would definitely give you more punishment.
Yes.
Depending on their current. So, anyways, let's go straight to the deck profile. Great job topping and stuff. Let's see this whole Satoosa style that everybody's probably curious about, and explain what cards that you feel like need explaining.
So, first off, I changed this deck many, many times throughout months and years. This is just the most recent format or version of it. So, I'll first start off with my main staple that I like to play in just about everything nowadays. I like to play 3 Choji Akimichi from set 28. He has Revitalize, and his main effect is whenever my opponent wins any battle rewards, he gets that many +1/+1 coins on him. He is my main deterrent for aggro decks, because whenever they attack, I can just let them through, and my Choji just gets stronger than them, so I can punish them for it.
Team Lake County tech right there.
Yes.
I think we all play it.
Next, I currently am playing 2 Gara Childhood. Whenever he's put in play, I draw a card. Even though if he were to get even though his secondary effect is whenever he is discarded due to the showdown, I discard a card. I do actually run a Naraka Path to counteract that, so I don't get punished too much from that.
Okay.
Next, I do have...
Or like a heat on or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next, I play 1 10-10.
Okay.
At the start of my turn, I can discard a card to draw a card, and if I did not discard an Earth card with her effect, I mill 3. In my deck, I don't care too much about if I mill myself. I have cards to put back my discard pile, so that mill effect is not really a negative. It just makes me draw my cards a little later, if anything.
Sure.
Next, I run 1 Hanare. She allows me to draw a card and gain chakra a little early on, as long as my opponent has a mission in play, which in most games they do.
Okay.
Next, I run Sasuke solo. He allows me to deter early game as well as push early game, so he is amazing.
You think he's good at one of, or should be banned?
Honestly, to be fair, I think he should be banned. He does a little too much too early, and...
You think he's too sacky if somebody hits with a 0 drop and a 5-0? Yeah, sure.
I know that whenever my opponent plays a solo attitude, and I get one of my...
Chojis.
One of my early ninjas that can't defend against it, it just snowballs the game so much.
Sure.
Especially if I have to just block.
Right.
Like, if I have to block with a 10-10, it just hurts me so much more than it should.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep. Next, I have 2 Shiho. I recently tested without Shiho, and instead played 3 10-10, but I have found that I definitely like Shiho better than 10-10.
filtering.
Yes, because I'd rather switch cards in the middle of a turn rather than just draw at the start.
Right.
And that's it for my zeros.
Okay. So you ran like what, 12 zeros or
10 actually.
10 actually? Okay.
Yes. Next, I run one Eno Childhood. I have enough mental power in my deck where her effect should almost always be activated, either the turn she is put in play or the turn afterwards.
Okay.
So I'll always get that extra draw power, and as I said with the 10-10, the milling 3 for the minus part of the effect doesn't really hurt me all that much.
Gotcha.
Next, I main deck 2 Tamari. Especially in the locals up here, the Tamari that... this is Wind Scythe, by the way.
Okay.
This Tamari that gets rid of opponent's Jutsu from their hand and puts it into their attack area doesn't neg me too much. Against Ruben, though, it's definitely a good thing to side it out.
Yeah, there's no hand water.
Yeah.
That's true.
Next, I play one Karin. She really helps with against early game. She has 2 mental power, she has ambush, and she heals. I don't care really how much my chakra my opponent has, as long as I have the jutsus to combat them.
Okay.
Next, I play 3, or that's actually it for my 1-drops. I only play 4 of them.
Oh, sure.
Next, this is like the bread and butter of my deck, besides the Satoosas. I play 3 Shikamaru Naras.
Three of them?
Yes.
Nice.
This is from the structure deck from Kage's Summit.
Charlie exclusive right here.
Yes. It is Earth and Fire. During my turn, I can pay 1 random chakra, and then if I control another Earth Ninja, I can shuffle 3 cards from my discard pile back into my deck. This is the card that negates the downside to 10-10 and Eno. And then,
milling, okay.
And then as an added bonus, if I control another Fire as well after I shuffle 3 cards back, I make my opponent mill 2 as well.
Yeah, this card is, I think, is very like underwhelming, or not underwhelming, what's it called?
Appreciated.
Underappreciated, just because like it does so much, especially late game. If you miss like your Jutsus, you just shuffle it back in for like late game. That's why your deck performs well in late game, because you can just get those cards back.
Because I get to filter early game and late game as well with this ninja.
Right, very solid card.
My next turn 2 is I play 2 Sakura Booksmarts.
Sure.
I play enough mental power in this deck where she just draws me a decent amount of cards.
Plenty.
Yep, and especially because she's a turn 2, I can get her out, and it immediately activates my, same with the Shikamaru.
Sure.
Next, I play 1 KNS. I didn't use to play KNS, mainly because I didn't have it, but...
That's off element, too.
Yes, but because it has 4 mental power, and it draws me a card right away, it triggers both Sakura, and it replaces itself in my hand, so I get +2 off of it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Very
then
good card.
finally, my final turn 2 is I play Narakapath. He is a great turn 2 because he has 5 power, 2 support, and he puts in play Heretical Icon, so he will stay on the field. He also has the added effect where, while my turn marker is even, my opponent cannot use odd effects, or cannot activate odd effects. So it stops a lot of hard things like Karin. It actually also stops Eno. Childhood. It's just a very good card to play, and he's very hard to just keep off the field.
Nice.
And that is it for my 2s.
Okay.
Next for my 3s, I am currently playing 1 Naruto like Whirlwind, and I originally ran 2 Reliance Narutos. It was really good. It really helped me with consistency, but unfortunately it got hit. And this is what I switched it out for. It helps because I like to give my opponents battle rewards early on in the game. So with this, I can now get back those battle rewards and counteract them. I'm thinking of probably at some point soon switching it to 2, but it's hard to filter out cards in my deck because everything does a lot. And this is actually the only 3 that I'm playing right now.
Have you thought about I don't know if you remember the old school one, the Wind Lightning one that could go into the other squads? The other versions of Naruto?
I've actually never seen that one.
Okay, we can bring it back up again, but it goes into the other Naruto to beast forms.
Next, I am playing Kurenai.
Okay.
This is from set 26.
Helpful?
No, Demon Illusion. What this Kurenai does is during my opponent's turn, during the EOJ, I can discard 1 card from my hand to put her in play. so that they do not win Battle Awards this turn.
Yep.
And as long as my turn marker is 4 or higher, she stays in play. So she is just a free, basically a free ninja I can play during my opponent's turn, so they don't win Battle Awards.
Yep.
And it really helps me to stall out the game.
Cool.
Next, I play one Hidan. He is just a great ninja to keep on the field. He's very annoying to remove, and if he does die, I can just bring him back for 1 Battle Award.
Sure.
And because I run Chojis and like Whirlwind and other things, I don't really care about the Battle Award.
Yeah, you cycle them out. So,
Yes,
you know.
he is just a body that's there. And I do also actually run the Hidan Curse Mode.
Sure.
So I can sacrifice him to put this in play and push for Battle Awards.
Yep.
And that is actually it for my turn 4s.
Okay.
Next, for my turn 5s, I am just running Yamato, controlled by Fear. This is a very strong card, but at 1, I think it's perfect because no one really sees it too often. Even though it's a main effect of negating your opponent's ninjas is really strong, it is not valid. So if you can just injure it in any means, it negates the effect, and he just becomes a 2/2, which isn't all that good. And that is it for my turn 5s. Also, with Yamato, he actually also has Mastery and Mental Power.
Oh, sure.
So I can play so he activates Book Smarts, and he also allows me to play Hydro Pump early on.
Yep. Turn 5.
Yeah. And then for my turn 6s,
AKA your Satoosas.
yep, I run a Kaze Kage. He helps so that my ninjas cannot be affected by my opponent's ninjas. And he also allows me to negate opponent's jutsu and gain back more chakra. He is amazing in my deck, and he is 2 of the 3 symbols that I main. And then sometimes I'm able to play the lightning with the little that I have.
Okay.
And then I also am running a Mizukage.
Mizukage.
She's another Satoosa for my particle style. During either player's mission phase, I can pay 2 chakra to negate 2 ninjas' effect text during this turn. And if those 2 ninja were to receive any damage during that turn, that ninja would then be discarded, and then the owner would, then my opponent would remove the top, or discard the top 4 cards of their deck.
Very deadly.
Yes. Next, I am playing 1 First Hokage, Supremacy. He has Mastery, Mental Power of 2, and he gets back my Battle Awards and shovels back in my discard pile, as many cards as I want from my discard pile into my deck. So he and Shikamaru, those 2 together, make it so any milling effects that I have or my opponent has doesn't really hurt me all that much. And because he also gets back Battle Awards, like Whirlwind, it makes it so I can just let opponents' attacks go through instead of hurting my ninjas earlier on.
Okay, fair enough.
And with Mastery, he can reuse Particle Style.
Okay.
And then my final
Dang, got a whole
Satoosa
squad
right now
here.
is the 5th Hokage. She has Mental Power 3, so she activates Book Smarts. She has Mastery, so she can loop jutsus.
Great.
She has an attack power of 8, which is just outstanding in this game.
Yeah.
And her effect heals 1 ninja and draws 1 card, and is valid. So,
great.
so even if she gets injured, she can heal herself to still draw a card.
Yeah.
And those are my Satoosa that help me push with
Satoosa squad.
Yes.
It's okay.
These are the ones that have helped me the most throughout my years of playing this deck.
Yeah, leading up to that.
Yes, to get out my jutsus when I need them and keep playing them.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
That is it for my ninjas.
Onto your missions or jutsus?
Onto my jutsus.
Okay, onto the jutsus.
First, I play Fear by Genjutsu. It's one of, honestly, I feel like this card is a really OP because it is a 3-cost, just ignore a team. And if it's a Genjutsu ninja, just deal an additional damage to it. Yes.
I feel like this should be banned, or it's okay at 1?
If we could still errata cards, I would change it to only Genjutsu ninja can use it, and I would remove the extra damage. But as it is now, I feel like it should be banned. It is too powerful for how much it does. But then again, for me, I like to generate a lot of chakra, so the 3 cost isn't too much for me.
Right.
But in other decks, it might not be as much as it is.
Sure.
Either way, I personally feel like it does too much. Next, I play Fire Style Dragonflame. It is a 1-of in my deck right now.
Probably because of the cost, right? 2
Yes.
fire. Yeah.
I don't play too much fire because Particle Style only needs 1, and
the rest of your elements are more like wind and
earth. Yes.
Okay.
I only run it at 1 because of the 2 fire. It's harder to play this than any other of my jutsu.
That makes sense.
But it is a really good early removal card if I really need to fight off the early game.
Or push for damage.
Yep.
Game 3 type of thing.
Next, I play one to Tsuchigumo style.
Sure.
This card is amazing.
Yep.
Especially at 1, it is perfect. Actually, this is one of the few cards that at limited I think is perfect at limited, because as long as you see it once, you gain 0. You just filter cards in your hand because you lose this card and you have to charge 1, but you gain 1 chakra.
Right.
Any more than 1, and you just draw too much. But if it's at 0, it wouldn't want. No one would really want it to come back because it doesn't do that much. Next, I play an Infinite Embrace, another 1-of on the ban list. And again, I do believe this card should actually be removed from the game because it's just a 3 chakra remove a ninja. Sure, the heads just moves it back to its or the tails moves it to its owner's hand, and then you draw a card. However, the heads of just moving the ninja to the chakra area punishes so much more
It's
than
great.
most other removes.
You think this card is good as a 1-of?
Honestly,
something like
I
Fear
feel
by-
like it should be. It's on the level of Fear by Genjutsu. Sure, Fear by Genjutsu just makes the opposing team stand by and can give a damage, but Infinite Embrace just straight up removes a ninja. It is a way easier way to damage an enemy team, or to just deal with a problem ninja.
So you don't mind if it goes to 0 or stays at 1?
I would prefer it to go to 0, but if it stays at 1, it's fine. Next, I play Hydro Pump, another 1-of.
Yep.
This, unlike Infinite Embrace and Fear by Genjutsu, because it has such a hard requirement of entrance cost of 5 or more, I do believe at 1 it's okay for what it does, because it just bounces to Ninja. Sure, it sets the enemy back 2 turns, but
It's a good card. I mean, everybody.
yes, it's a good card. I feel like it should be played in every deck, but if it were to go up to 2, I feel like most people would not run 2.
I'd run 2 maybe.
But that's only my opinion, because it has such a high cost.
Yeah.
Because most people, especially like in the tournament or in the win a case, I didn't see many people trying to get to turn 5. They would either try to rush or use their own playstyle. Like No Hand Water wouldn't run this because they can't actively play it too much. They want to have all their cards in their hand or in their chakra area. And other decks would just try to rush the opponent down.
Okay.
So only stall decks would benefit from this, because they're the most likely to get to turn 5 and to play ninjas that have a cost of 5 or more.
I'd run in my aggro decks, but yeah. All right. To the missions.
No, I
You got
have
a couple-
3
oh, yeah,
more jutsu.
Your main jutsu. Sorry.
This is my favorite jutsu in the game ever.
Yes, your signature style.
Yes.
Particle style, atomic dismantling jutsu.
Yes, it is
Alright.
a mouthful. Requirement Satoosa, so only Kage can play it. So most of the time, only ninjas with an entrance cost of 5 or higher can play it. It targets one ninja and it removes it from the game. And then it makes the rest of the team standby, and then you draw 2 cards. And it has an expert of gravity. Give 2 damage to every ninja that was made a standby ninja due to this effect. So, if you use this card, it devastates a board and a team. And it also pushes for 2 battle rewards. And
Yeah.
it replaces itself in your hand too.
Gotcha.
To draw 2. This is my favorite jutsu. When it first came out, people didn't like it because of the high cost of 2 earth, 1 fire, and 1 wind. It is very specific, which makes it harder to play. But just by playing a bit of fire and a mainly earth wind deck, you should be able to play this whenever
Yeah, you have a lot of dual
Satoosa
elements
out.
too.
Correct.
Yeah, like earth, fire, shikamaru. So, I mean, there's a lot of good
Yes.
costs for it. So
And finally, that is it for my jutsu.
nice.
Onto my missions.
Missions.
First, I play 3 student, and sensei is the mini Warhawk for Earth style.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Good,
It's
nice,
literally
simple.
half the effect for turn 1.
Yep.
And getting to draw those cards early on helps me filter out my hand and my deck. And I don't care about the battle ward because I play Choji.
Simple enough.
Yep.
Next.
And then I also play 1 Shikamaru's Decision.
Limited 1.
Yes. Honestly, it really hurt when this dropped from 3 to 1 in my deck. Especially because I play 3 Shikamaru and I have a decent amount of mental power on my deck.
Okay.
It does a decent amount for what it does. It searches for 1 and then draws a card. However, there are other missions that just search for 2 ninja that I feel are better than this mission, even though they are only mono-symboled. One of them is
Ino's Tears.
Ino's Tears. It is a wind-only mission. You discard 1 card and you search for 2
Yeah, you,
wind
you,
ninjas.
you neg 1, but you get your drops.
You get whatever you want. It doesn't matter what the entrance cost is, no
2
matter
wind
what.
ninjas.
And this, it goes off your mental power, or if you have a Shikamaru on field, which neither is guaranteed to be too helpful. Next, I play 2 Interruption. Sure, they're only proxies.
Limited edition ones. Very nice.
Yes. So,
Yeah, that's actually what made you win the tournament, actually.
no.
The proxies.
So, what Interruption does is it's a turn 2 counter mission
Turn 2.
that negates a mission that is being played and moves it to the top of its owner's deck, and then they shuffle. Honestly, because it is a turn 2, it stops a lot of early game stuff like Shikamaru's Decision, Student Sensei. It could stop Never-Ending Loves that are banned now. I feel like this card should be limited to 1 or banned because of how early it is.
That's what I said. Okay.
It's not broken.
Just because every
not
other
broken.
negate
Warhawk's the
mission,
problem.
Warhawks get 2.
it's just because every other negate mission is a turn 3, and this is just a turn earlier and stops so much stuff.
2 cards, but Warhawk gives you 4.
There's that loser in the background over there. 3rd place.
Next,
Who won today?
Yeah, but
Next
who
I
beat
play-
you today?
next I play 2 Loss.
first.
I am running these cards because I can't run Shikamaru's Decision anymore or Never-Ending Love. It is great to go even instead of trying to neg with other turn 2 missions.
Sure.
Finally, or next off, I play 3 Warhawks. It draws so many cards and only gives 2 battle rewards to my opponent. And in my deck where I play Choji and I get battle rewards back, I don't really care about the battle rewards, so it just pluses for me. And honestly speaking, like Alex in the background was yelling,
Yeah, Warhawks.
it would be good to either limit it to 2 or 1, just because of how strong it is with how many cards you draw.
Yeah, they didn't really touch fire in this.
No, because they were trying to
Brothers.
have more people play Fire and Lightning, because most people were playing Earth and Wind in the last format. And then finally, I play Stone Council. This is a really good mission because it has all 3 symbols of my deck, and it also has 3 really good effects. Its first effect is I can choose one of my opponent's battle awards and add it back to my hand, so I get back Warhawks or Student Senseis. Sure. And the second ability, which won me a few games, is target ninja I control may only be blocked by ninjas that share a symbol with it. So because I have a bunch of different symboled ninjas, yep, randomly. I can target any of my ninja and have them push in a team of 5 or more to just win 2 battle awards and push for a game.
Sure.
And then the third ability is I can shuffle my hand into my deck and then draw the same amount of cards, +1. I don't really use this effect too much, but it is good if I need a lower cost hand or a higher cost hand, depending on what state the game is in.
Sure.
And that is it for my missions.
Very nice. I'm sure you got an extra deck.
Yes, I do.
And a bunch of other stuff.
My favorite card is Naruto Sage Mode. Because of how much I mill in this deck, having my discard pile be part of my chakra area helps a lot. Even though I don't really use him for more jutsu than just maybe Hydro Pump.
Okay.
Especially with the mastery, it helps out.
Yeah.
And in addition to Naruto Sage Mode, I also run Kage Naruto. He helps because I then have another Kage to play Particle Style with. And he can search out other cards in my deck, like I can search out for my 5th Hokage, I can search out for Ino, Shikamaru. Most of my ninja are Leaf, and it does help to search and get those out if I miss them early on.
Nice.
Next, I play Hidan Curse Mode. He helps me push for battle awards late in the game if I need the help, which sometimes against stall decks or heavy jutsu decks, I do need the help.
Yeah, extra battle awards.
Next, I run 3 Heretical Icons for my Narakapath, just so we can keep coming back and healing. So I have an extra blocker. And then I also have Danzo. He is good because he switches out with my Sasuke solo mid in the game when I just need more support or if he gets injured.
Okay.
And then finally, I run Ino Shikacho, the squad. What he does is whenever I play a card, if it's Earth, I can injure one of my opponent's ninjas. If it is not an Earth, though, I can target one ninja, and it becomes a 0/0 during this turn. It is a very helpful card that I don't go into much. That is only because my Choji, my Shikamaru, and my Ino all do superbly by themselves.
Superbly.
But this does help push for late game damage, especially because I like to play a bunch of cards like it works with jutsus, works with missions. I can play more ninjas. I can play more reinforcements.
Yeah, it's 6 mental power too, which is
nice. And it is a 5/5, so it does buff up support or combat power as much as you really need. And that is it for my reinforcements.
Okay, side deck.
I changed this out a lot, but recently I have put in Hina's. This is very good against mill and other permanent missions.
Okay.
I don't normally see permanent missions too much, but when I do, I side these in, and they are very helpful.
Yeah.
Next, I play Paku. Mental power, or I do have a decent amount of good mental power in my deck, but I don't have as much as most mental powered mental powered decks. So this helps to stop them when I just want to punch them in the face.
Ha 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 ha.
Next, I run one Shino's Silence.
Sure.
He makes it so my opponent can't search. It's an amazing ability because I can still search. I'm thinking of switching one of my sides out to have multiple with him.
Okay.
The card that I'm actually thinking of switching out for him is a Quiet Day. It is a counter permanent wand, so it only lasts my opponent's turn. What it does is it negates the effect text of all ninjas in play. So it deals with any effect text problems, and because it doesn't have a hand cost for this counter mission, it is great to play at any point.
Okay.
Next, I am running Suigetsu, Dehydrated. He is a good ninja to just stop specific effect texts. I did side him in a bit against Ruben and Zeke. They had a couple of problem ninja that needed to be dealt with. But actually, during play with Ruben in the Swiss, I found out that there is actually a different ninja that he has the same effective Suigetsu, but doesn't have the chakra cost for it. So I'm going to be looking out for that.
Right. Well, at least with your chakra cost, you could put like heat on in a discard pile.
Exactly.
And cards that you could cycle out. So I mean, it's still synergized with your Shikamaru.
And then finally, I run a third Hokage.
He forgot.
This is great against chakra heavy decks or no hand water decks, and against teams that have high power.
Okay.
This allows me to just push for high damage because it puts -1/-1 coins on all opposing ninja, and I get to choose 2 of my opponent's chakra and discard it. And then if he wins victory at all during the turn that he's opposed, he wins a battle reward. So he's just great to push. In game 2 against Ruben during the Swiss, I sided him in, I played him, and Ruben let him through for either 4 or 6 battle rewards before he finally blocked it. But even then, still, he won the battle and got a battle reward. And he has 3 mental power for...
Book smarts and
Yes.
all that stuff.
And that is it for my side deck.
Very nice. Overall, I know you're always switching out cards every week, so that's probably what you're going to still be doing, right? Depending on what you go against. Or,
Yes,
okay.
I'm going to keep trying to make this deck more consistent, especially with how the ban list hurt my deck. I used to be running Toby, Man of Mystery, Neverending Love,
think we all ran
3.
that. I think everybody ran it. All the good cards, yeah, sure.
Yep.
Pretty much Shikamaru's decisions, all that stuff.
Exactly.
But, yeah, it definitely hit Earth a little bit more than other
Yes, it
elements.
did, and Earth is one of my favorite
Elements.
symbols in this game.
Okay.
It is, for some reason though, it actually has the least potency in my deck, even though I do have a lot of multi-symbols that have Earth. Just main Earth, I don't have that much.
Okay, very nice. Anything else you'd like to say to the Naruto land community out there? Anybody who's trying to get in the game? Anybody who's thinking about getting in the game? Thinking about running your deck? I don't know.
If you're looking to run my deck, the easiest way to do it is just to create a stall early game and have enough chakra late game to just throw down as many jutsu as you can. And for new players, one of the best decks to understand would just be a mono fire, mono lightning, or just a combo fire lightning, because they are the most aggressive decks, so you don't have to worry about counter missions, you don't have to worry too much about jutsus. You can just play that and attack.
Straightforward, beat down.
Exactly.
A little bit like that. Okay, cool. Well, thanks again, Charlie, for giving us your deck profile of Satoosa Style. Now everybody knows what it is, and so they could side for it for the next event. And that's pretty much what everybody's going to be doing anyways.
Yep.
There's specific cards that could counter your deck, and we will all be running that. So, thanks again, Charlie. Congratulations on winning first on the next big event, which is probably going to be a month from now. I know you're not going to get first because a lot of people are going to fight for that.
It might surprise. Yeah. It might surprise a lot of people, but I don't normally win.
Oh, that's a good admit. That's awesome. Well, I got that on camera, so.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks again, Charlie. Rate, comment, subscribe. Congratulations on first place, and we'll see you again in future events.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Thanks.